I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and hey, look, check it out. A project for Awesome Perk also arrived, and Cosmic Pizza printout painting. I'm doing my reflection on Cast, and have to read the book club book for tomorrow, or portion of it, because we're discussing it tomorrow as a family, and I just finished this Life's Library book as well. Great stuff in it about how to be a writer, and just interesting things about being a writer and living life. This idea that if you pay sustained attention to anything for a long enough time, there is beauty, and there is wonder, and there is awe in it. That was one of the main reasons they did the exercise on the whole entire virtual tour, and that's sort of what I thought about when I watched your video, looking back on all the different years and clips and people. And I'm going to tie that to a little bit of this book as well, something I read in here, and something that was in my journals recently too. We don't always get to choose how things begin, right? Where we're born, the ancestry that we have. We don't get to be responsible for those choices in the same way that when we're little, we're not really responsible in every single way what happens to us. It's sort of the part that we're all victim of our circumstances. And it ties back to this idea of guardians that Alexander G talks about in here. Always kind of owing our first friends and first experiences for the way that they shape us. Obviously, this author faced a lot more dire circumstances and things than I faced, which is tough to read about, but enlightening and learning from. You can't get rid of the guardians who've kept you safe until now. He says you have to give them new jobs. The jobs they've been doing since you were a child. Watching your video made me think about the first friends that I've had, the things I've had to let go of people I no longer talk to, the experiences I had really early on that shaped me in ways that maybe I didn't see at the time as to how those experiences helped me, but those experiences that were tough did end up shaping me, and they sort of form a habit or a perspective in us that's kind of helpful in the future. There's this line that made me think about The Last of Us in here, talking about how endurance is a downside, but the line is, when certain things happen to us, we can think that it's all we actually have, but there's a line that says, the wound that risks replacing you, the longer you let it stay. And I think there are perspectives that we have as kids, or things that happen to us, that are helpful, like childlike curiosity, those values that matter. But there are also things that can happen to us that if we don't pay attention to them, they can perpetuate, and it's almost like those guardians are controlling us, and they're doing work for us that served us at one point, but no longer served us later. This all sums up basically in the idea that maybe it's really, really important that we honor the guardians that we choose, and we honor the change that happens around us, especially with people close to us, or projects that people are doing with other people. It's a really beautiful thing to create things, but also to be able to create over time and evolve with other people and change other people over time while keeping what matters consistent, and what also matters can evolve, letting that stuff evolve over time too. That's what you made me think about with that video. It made me think about a lot of good stuff. Good friends, good family, good company, and people's kindness and generosity. I still carry with me because they did some important things for me in the past, even though they're no longer around. So that's pretty deep, right? That's what I've been thinking about and what matters to me. Basically, what we allow to survive in us from our past that we hold on to, that risks replacing us if we're not too careful, or serving us in good ways as we evolve. Facing things will end the pain that we've mistaken for ourselves. The worst thing that you may lay waste to is your whole life by hiding from what you should face. I go all the time back to the idea that all we need are reminders. All we need are important reminders of what to stay consistent in, and that's why I have all these things hanging around in my house, just to remind myself of what I want to hold on to and what actually matters. Looks like you got some important reminders around still. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday.